Hey YouTube, Sean G back with another video. Well guys, this is part 3 of getting to know Sean one-on-one. Well, Sean G to you guys on one-on-one. Guys, I was debating if I wanted to break this up in 4 parts instead of 3. But I decided to just stop at after the age 24 because this part of my life, I'm going in depth. So anything after that, after 24 years old, I'll catch up with you guys on a later date. I don't really want to overwhelm you guys on getting to know Sean G. But for the most part, this has been my life on up until this point. So without further ado, I left off on the last video where I was explaining to you guys that we had went to a party, a club, and we had stopped and got a joint, and I explained to you all that I suffer from migraine headaches. Well, I was suffering from migraine headaches at the time, and I would use marijuana on occasions to alleviate that pain. But this particular day, I had a slight headache, but it wasn't like all the rest of my headaches, and I wanted to enjoy myself. I'm not really a smoker. In marijuana, 2 puffs, we called it 2-hitter quitter. It only took 2 for me. But anywho, by the time I got home, I don't know what my daughter daddy was doing. He may have been cooking or something, but anywho, I gets in the house and I'm barely making it in the house. But I did make it to the couch. And all I remember at that time was I asked him to go and get my Mountain Dew soda out the refrigerator. Now, what was stated to me, I had passed out. So this is where I pick up on this story. When I passed out on the couch, I then learned that I was in an out-of-body or having an out-of-body experience. My body jerked in a manner, and I don't want to say spirit, but it may have been my spirit. I was looking down at everything, even though I couldn't hear anything. I was looking down at everything that was taking place after I had passed out. And the way that I was looking down while I was up in the ceiling, it was like a kid taking a picture, just like this. And I'm watching these events take place and all this movement, and I can't hear anything. But I did see my mom come, my sister came, my brother came, my son's father, because my daughter's father, we was living together at the time, he was there. And I saw them just moving me. I guess they was trying to wake me up or something. And my son's father, I saw him grab me like somewhat this away, and my head was going. So I take it he was trying to talk to me to wake me up or whatever. And foam started running out the side of my mouth. And from that point, he picked me up I don't know how quick or how fast we got to the car, but they took me to the hospital. This hospital was called Central Medical Center. It wasn't far from where I lived. Like I say, I didn't know nothing, but I was seeing everything from the ceiling, and my body, from the way I saw it, it was limp, as if I wasn't there anymore. I do remember waking up. My mama was to the right of me. My little sister and brother and my other brother, if I'm not mistaken, they was at the foot of me. And I had this tube, this big ass tube going down my nose. No, before that had happened, the doctor was coming in, and he was talking to my mother, and he was telling her, you know, they needed to run some tests and stuff. I had to be resuscitated, and they had to run some tests. So I'm looking over there at my mom, and I can tell she was trying to do all that she possibly could to keep those tears back. And I'm looking at her, and I want to say what happened, but I didn't, because I didn't want her to really just break down, because I can see it in her face. And I'm looking at my little sister and them, and it's like, what happened? One of them told me that I had passed out and they couldn't wake me up. That's what it had boiled down to. And that I had to be resuscitated. So the doctor had came in. He said to my mother that he wanted to run a series of tests. And he was telling her what kind of tests they was. But the nurse was coming in to run a tube down my nose to my stomach. And the reason being, he felt I was poisoned. And they put chalk, some type of chalk solution, black chalk, gray chalk, or whatever they had called it. And she had came in. They had stuck a long ass needle in my groin. I don't know what that was for. But they had me on the heart monitor and all that other stuff. It was a lot going on at that time, guys, so be patient with me. The doctor had said that he needed to run a blood test as well, to draw some blood from me and run a blood test, because it may indicate that I was poisoned. So they ran some tests. I don't know what the purpose of them sticking me in my groin with that long ass needle was for. But anywho, the tube they inserted in my nose, it gave me a problem, a big ass problem, because I never had a tube run down through my nose before. And it was bothering me, and I was telling the lady that, you know, I don't prefer you to do that, because that's uncomfortable for me. And being the type of person I am, I don't like things to be forced on me. I respectfully ask before my approach, because I'm quick to swing on somebody, especially if you're going against my will. If I ask you not to do something out of respect, please don't go further than what I asked you. And my mama was trying to calm me down, because I wasn't allowing them to do basically what they was trained to do. So I had to bite the bullet and allow it to happen. And it made me angry too. But I knew it was best for me to chill out and let them do what they were supposed to do. So the doctor had left. I don't know how long it took for him to come back, but he did come back in with his clipboard, talking to my mom again, and he had said that my blood work had came back and that he found something in my blood work. And when he said what he found in my blood work, I looked over at my mama. I looked down at my little sister now. And I said, you's a motherfucking lie. Ain't no way. Ain't no way possible. He told my mama and the rest of my family that was there that they found 10% cocaine in my system. That's when I looked over at my mama, then looked at my sister, then my little brother and them. And I was like, you's a motherfucking lie. Ain't no way. And my mom was like, Shonda, calm down, calm down. I was like, Mama, I'm not finna sit up here and let this doctor or whoever the fuck else tell you no shit like that. You cannot believe that I would go to that measure and have cocaine in my system. She said, Shonda, just shut up, be quiet, and listen to this doctor. I said, I'm not finna sit up here and let this doctor sit up here and tell you no motherfucking lie. I don't smoke cocaine. I sell cocaine, which I did at the time. But I don't smoke it. And I said, well, okay, since it seemed like ain't nobody believing me, I went straight to the doctor. You the one ran the motherfucking test, right? He said, yes. I had it ran. He said, I can only tell you what the test results confirmed. He said, we're going to go back for a minute. When you, because I had told him what had happened when we was going on our way going to this party or this club, that we had stopped at a friend's house. It was 4 of us in the car. We had stopped at a friend's house to pick up a joint. I only took 2 puffs off. All 4 of us smoked the same fucking joint. I only took 2 puffs off of the joint, and I was cool because that's all I do. I don't need a whole fucking joint to smoke. I really smoke it to relieve my fucking pain, my fucking headaches. So it really don't take much for me to get rid of my headache just smoking a joint. So he was trying to run it back down to me, replaying it back what steps and shit was taken. At this time, I'm pissed because I know it didn't have nothing to do with the hospital. It didn't have nothing to do with the hospital at all. But what I found out, I know it couldn't have came from the hospital. So yeah, we had to track back. And tracking it back to that joint. Okay. And I said, okay, if all 4 of us smoke this same fucking joint, and I'm the only fucking one that had a minor heart attack from it, why in the fuck didn't the other 3? Why didn't something happen to them? Doctor was explaining to me, it's something about alcohol or something. Because see, I don't know, I don't drink alcohol. I think it's the devil's drug, but that's my opinion. Excuse me, guys. Go lay down. Go lay down. I believe that's the devil's potion. Just my point of view. I don't care to drink alcohol. But anyway, I was angry. And I was raising a whole lot of hell in that hospital. And no matter how much they was trying to get me to calm down, I'm like, this shit right here ain't gonna work. And I'm like, if all four of us smoke this same fucking joint, why in the fuck am I the only one that's coming up with a fucking minor heart attack? The doctor's trying to tell me, apparently it's something about the alcohol, which I don't drink. He asked me, he said, well, what did you drink at the club? I said, ice water. I don't drink alcohol. I don't even like alcohol. Alcohol stinks. And he said, because I drank that ice water, it froze whatever percentage of that cocaine that was laced in that joint, froze up or some type of shit. Some type of shit he was trying to tell me. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck how you trying to put this. My thing is, why in the hell it only happened to me? My mama tried to get me to calm down. I said, Mama, I don't give a fuck what this doctor is telling you, trying to tell me or the rest of us. I don't smoke cocaine. I don't fuck with cocaine except for selling it. That's it. That's fucking all. I'm not trying to prove shit to nobody, but you better believe what I tell you, I damn sure will show you. I stand in my truth. I always have and I always will. And I was so angry and I was so upset. They kept me in the hospital for 5 days with a fucking tube down my nose all the way down my throat. They say they had to clean out my system. Because basically they say I was poisoned. So after I was done downstairs in triage or whatever the fuck department they call it is, they had finally had a room open. And they had took me to whatever room they had open. And after they got through putting me on the heart monitor and shit, I had to round the clock stay on that damn thing. And this pressure, fucking pressure, y'all know what the fuck I'm trying to say, for my blood pressure. Then this fucking oxygen finger thing for my fucking fingers. And at this point, all my fucking mind was stuck on. That's why I don't trust this motherfucker. It's evil. It's really fucking evil. And it will cause you, if you ain't careful, to go on the devil fucking side and do his fucking work. Killing, stealing, and destroying fucking lives. And I couldn't shake it, y'all. I just couldn't shake it. I was so fucking angry. And I was so fucking upset. All the fuck I was trying to do was just get out and have me a little fun. And I had said, every fucking time that I go out, this is why I don't go out. This is why I don't hang out. It's always some shit going on with me. I should have stayed my motherfucking ass at home with my kids. That's where I should have stayed. But I chose to go. Because I wanted to get out, spend some time with my people, and just have a little fun. Yeah, a little see what the fuck my fun turned into. Another fucking chain of events that shouldn't have happened, didn't need to happen, but because we stopped and got a joint, my motherfucking life got turned upside down yet a fucking again. But back to me being in my hospital bed, in my hospital room. After they got through prepping me and shit, My family was on the outside waiting to come in and spend time with me or whatever. And I'm watching everybody coming in and shit. My mama, my daughter, grandmama. These are people that I remember in there. May have been more, may have been less. But they coming in. It was my mama, my daughter's grandmama, both of my kids' daddy. And the man that gave us the fucking joint had just came in. And he had a little, I guess he stopped down at the gift shop or some shit and got me a vase that had some roses in it. I'm laying up in the bed and shit with this fucking tube in my nose going down to my stomach, and I got everybody at the foot of my fucking bed surrounding me at the foot of my bed. And I'm just looking at everybody. I don't give a fuck what y'all think. I don't give a fuck what y'all feel. And I don't even really give a fuck what y'all got to say negatively, on the negative end. I don't give a fuck. Because like I say, apparently y'all don't know me. You can't. Because the looks that I was getting, my mama looked at me as if she was disappointed in me, which I get it. When I found out what happened to me, I was fucking disappointed too. I was so motherfucking disappointed, I was pissed. I didn't even want to stay in the hospital. I was about to sign myself out of that motherfucker. That's why I don't say I don't trust this. I have to go with my heart. But I knew I had to stay because I also knew that when this shit was over, I still had to raise my 3 kids. But he comes in there and everybody looking at him. And he tells me that he's sorry and he apologized. What had happened was he was apparently at home. Excuse me, guys. He was apparently at home rolling up those joints for whatever reason. And they were in 2 different sections. He ended up grabbing the one that was, I guess you call it laced or whatever. We didn't know that shit. And he gave it to the person that went up to the house and got it. And I'm still like, I'm fucking confused. How in the fuck, out of all 4 of us, how in the fuck is it just me that end up reaping the repercussions of smoking that joint? So what y'all trying to tell me is because all 3 of y'all that drink alcohol helped y'all in this manner, and because I don't drink alcohol, that the ice water that I was drinking caused a domino effect? And that's what the fuck y'all trying to tell, because that's what the fucking doctor said. I wasn't riding with that shit. I wasn't riding with it at all. And I'm like, I could have lost my motherfucking life. But I said, it's okay. God did another miraculous thing. He grabbed hold of me. And he held on to me. And walked with me through that whole process. And I said from that point, I won't ask nobody for shit. I ain't finna let no motherfucker put shit else in my fucking hand. I'm not finna do none of that. As a matter of fact, I ain't even finna hang around no motherfucker because I can't trust. I couldn't trust nobody in the first fucking place. But I was so angry and so upset. I was no longer mad. at the person we got it from. I was mad at me. I ain't have nobody to blame but me. I didn't have to participate in smoking that joint, but I did. And I had to reap the repercussion of what happened. So I spent them 5 days in the hospital. Whenever I got ready to come home and shit, it was like my life at that point was totally different. I had to take all this fucking medicine and go to all these motherfucking doctor appointments and have people looking at me other than the way that they was looking at me. And I done told y'all in that part 2 video, I don't play that staring at me type shit. Say something, take a picture, write it down. I don't give a fuck. Just don't stare at me. My attitude was way up. I mean, it was way off the Richter scale. And I was angry at me because it wasn't that nobody believed me. It was that how careless can I be, but how the fuck I'm going to be careless if I didn't even know? That's the fucking point. You didn't know. And you beating yourself up for it because you didn't know. It took a long time for me, guys. A long time for me to accept what I felt was unacceptable. I got hurt yet again. Now, what the fuck am I finna take and do with this? So I had wrote, I don't know what y'all call them, a first will letter, in case something happened to you, who you want to take care of things. I had sat down and wrote a letter, basically for my daughter's grandmama, because I wanted my daughter to be with her grandmama in case shit turned left and I wasn't here no more. I wanted to make sure that my baby will be taken care of. And as far as my sons go, I had looked toward my little sister, who we closest to, both of us, that she would look after my boys. Now one of them was going with their daddies. I was going to make sure that, motherfucker, you wasn't in their life then. You don't got to be in it. God forbid something happened to me. My kid's going to be all right. So I had wrote I guess it's a dime wheel or some shit like that. Trying to prepare myself for the worst. Well, I ain't going to say no worse because I ain't scared of that. But to just make sure that my kids was going to be all right. And I took it over to her house and I explained to her in detail what was in the letter and why I was giving it to her, or I chose to give it to her. But I did state to her, I do not want you to open this letter until after I'm gone. Dead, basically. I do not want you to open this letter. I don't know if still today that letter been open or whatever, because it was 20... Okay, my daughter 29. 28 and a half years ago, my baby was going on 1 or something like that. But it was over 28 years, guys. My hands sweat when I get mad. They say it's a sign of nerves, but ain't fuck I'm gonna be nervous for. But anyway, she had promised me that she would honor my wishes, and she kept it. So life went on at that point. Like I explained, I had to be back and forth to the cardiologist and shit, taking all these fucking tests and having all my fucking blood drawn and all this other craziness. Life got real hard at that point because I wasn't able to basically get around like I used to. My energy just wasn't there. I'm going to bounce on up because I'm at 30 minutes already. This is why I wanted to do a part 2. But basically, this sums it up from the age of 23 and what had happened from me picking up from part 2. So I'm going into age 24. A year. 1 year after this incident happened. At the age of 24, I had got a call to go, I had an appointment, my baby grandmama had made an appointment with me to, because back in the day I was doing her, she wanted her hair braided. She wanted what we call dookie braids, them big braids. And I had cleared my schedule for her to go over there and do her hair. So I went over, took kids over to her house, did her hair. After I got finished, I was, preparing to get ready to go home. And her phone rang. Before her phone rang, I was sitting on a couch and we was talking. And she was thanking me from doing her hair or whatever because she was a school teacher. But anyway, we was talking and I told her hair looked nice. And then she said thanks, and she thanked me for doing her hair because she really didn't have time to be doing her hair by her being a school teacher. All of a sudden, I started getting all these damn goosebumps. And then I started getting chills. And I'm looking at my arms. I had on a short sleeve shirt. And I'm looking at my arms, and I had told my baby grandmama, I say, look, do you see this? I'm not going to say her name, guys. I said, look, do you see this? And she said, what's wrong? Are you cold? I said, no, I ain't cold, but I'm wondering where the hell these damn goosebumps, why these goosebumps popping up and why I'm shaking. And then her phone ring, and instantly my eyes go over to the left, and I'm just looking at the phone, and it seems like it's just ringing, it's ringing, it's ringing, it's ringing, it's ringing. But let me go back for a second, guys. On my way, going to my daughter's grandmama's house. This song, From Boys to Men, To the End of the Road. I used to listen to that song on a regular, but for some reason it was on the radio. And I was playing it on my way over her house, to her house. And I know damn well the song is only on, it ain't on for that long. But this song just kept on playing. And it was like it was stuck on, although we go to the end of the road. And I'm driving and I'm trying to look down at the radio, and I'm like, is my fucking radio broke? Because it's like it's repeating itself. And it just kept on saying, although we go to the end of the road. By the time I got to her house, the last thing that I heard from that song was what I kept on hearing on the way over there. Although we go to the end of the road. And when I looked at that phone, them chill bumps that I had, goosebumps and shit that I had, along with that chill, and that phone call, my daughter, grandmama, got up to answer her phone. And I had told her, well, go ahead and answer the phone. I'm finna get ready to get on up out of here because I don't know what's going on, but it's time for me to go. So I had got up and I was on my way out of her security door because I had left out of her unit door. It's a security door that you have to ring the bell to have them to let you in from the inside. And as the door, her door to her unit was slightly open. It was open up probably about, just like I can see my video through my hands like this. That's about how much her door was open. And I was just headed toward the security door. I can hear her talking on her phone. And when I heard her say, oh no, wait a minute. And she said, Shonda, wait a minute. You can't go nowhere yet. Hold on, wait a minute. Something happened prior, a couple of days prior to this incident. I mean, to this part that I'm talking about. Something had happened prior with one of my family members. And I had already knew. And when my baby grandmama had said, oh no, wait a minute. And she called me, Shonda, wait a minute, you can't go, come here, wait a minute. And I said, what's wrong? I said, why is you hollering my name like that? And I was like, who is that on the phone? And she said, this was the neighbor. I'm not going to say her name as well. This was the neighbor. She had called my daughter's grandmama. Because apparently they got word that that's where I was. And she said that she wanted to talk to me. Well, asked if I was there. And she said, yeah, she getting ready to leave. She was coming back that way. And apparently she told her to stop her or whatever and tell her to answer the telephone. So I guess that's why she was telling me that I couldn't go or don't go. And she said that I needed to answer that call. And I was like, what I need to answer your phone call for? She said, somebody, I'm not going to say the name, but I'll say somebody was on the phone and they need to talk to you. I said, why would somebody be calling here to your house to talk to me? Like I say, guys, I don't trust no damn body. It's hard for me to trust people. Even if I did, I wouldn't trust them that fucking much. But anywho, make a long story short, I came back in, and I answered the phone. At this time, I'm standing there shaking. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why am I shaking? And what in the fuck are all these goosebumps coming from? I say, hello? And the person was on the phone, was like, how you doing, Shonda? And I said, I'm doing fine, how are you? And I said, matter of fact, who is this? And she told me who it was. And I was like, hey, how you doing? I say, what is the call for? I mean, why is you calling me? That's because I'm not used to getting a call at nobody's house for me. But anyway, the conversation went a little like this. She said, Shonda, I need for you to either go to Barnes Hospital or come home now. I said, what? And she repeated it. She said, I need for you to either go to Barnes Hospital or I need for you to come home right now. I say, what the fuck I need to go to Barnes Hospital for? I said, I'm on my way home. But this hospital shit, what the fuck I need to go to Barnes Hospital for? I said, what happened? I don't like people to talk to me in sequence. I don't want you to be telling me some of what the fuck you want to say and not all of what need to be said. For y'all to know what type of person I am, don't do that to me. Out of all the shit that didn't happen to me, I'm not trying to play no motherfucking guessing games. Tell me what is going on. Don't worry about my feelings or if I can take it. Just let me know. If I supposed to know, let me know. She wouldn't tell me. And I said, okay. Even though Barnes Hospital was basically up the street from where I was. But I'm like, if I go to the hospital, who in the fuck I'm going to the hospital to see? Nobody is telling me shit. So my instincts told me to go home. Well, to my mama's house. And I'm like, this is why I had all these fucking goosebumps. And I started shaking. It was some shit going down. And I wasn't nowhere around to help. Nowhere. Nowhere around to help. So I put my kids in the car. And my daughter grandmama said, wait a minute, Shauna, wait a minute. I'm going to go with you. And I was like, if you going, you better come the hell on. I got to go and see what the hell going on with my family. Like I said, it was an incident happened prior, so I thought that was what was really going on. What I thought wasn't going on. So my baby grandma had got in the car. She was like, Shonda, let me drive you over there. I said, I don't need you to drive my car. I don't need you to drive me nowhere. And why didn't it seem like you trying to keep me calm or some shit? If you gonna ride with me, I'm gonna need for you to chill out. Or you can go back home. That's just the type of person I am. So I was on one at that point. I wanted to find out what the fuck happened and why nobody wanted to tell me. So I'm driving. It was probably 15, 20 minutes from my mama's house. But it seemed like I got there. And probably half of that time, probably 10 minutes. But when I got to the corner of the house where my mama lived, all I can see was darkness. The clouds were gray. It's like a smoky gray. And it was dark and not so dark to where it was black dark, but it was dark enough. And I seen all of these body figures where my mama's house is. And I'm pausing at the corner and I'm like, it's got to be something going on. It's a whole bunch, well, even though it's a lot of us, but it was a whole bunch of folk at my mama's house. I mean, it was so many people. I was like, I know I got to go up here, but what I'm going up here for, I don't know if I'm ready for it, but I know I got to go. I'm shaking right now, guys, so y'all be patient with me. So I finally turned the corner. And it seemed like it took forever for me to get to my mom's house. But I finally got there. And I pulled up. And I was right. Everybody, my whole family was out there. It was a few friends out there too. But when I pulled up, y'all, one of my nieces, came to the driver's part where I was. I couldn't even get out the car fast enough. Like I said, I had just pulled up, barely put the car in park, because I'm like, all y'all out here has got to be for something. And it ain't good. So one of my nieces came over to the driver's side of the car. I had just began to open the door. And what she said to me, it took my little mind, and it took my little heart. And I was trying to keep it together. At what she had told me that my mama was dead. I said, what the fuck you say? And she said, Grandma gone, Grandma dead. And I said, what happened? She said she had been shot. And she got her body up at Barnes Hospital. And that's when it hit me. That call that I had got while I was over my baby grandmama's house. Barnes Hospital was just up the street. Had I not took them 10 minutes speed drive to get to my mama's house, and took them same 10 minutes to get up there to the hospital, that may not have been the last time that I would have saw her. But the last time I did see my mama was 2 weeks. I seen something that I never seen with my mama. 2 weeks prior to my mama's death, she had sent me to the store to get her some high-head cheese, some crackers, and a Pepsi soda, and her Planters peanuts. My mama she loved her Planter peanuts. She'll pour them in her Pepsi soda. And she loved her high-head cheese with her crackers. She had sent me around to the store to get it. And I was on my way back. And I was 3 houses from my mama's house. And I was walking in that direction. And as I'm approaching 3 houses from my mama's house, I noticed my mother was standing in the facing of the door, not quite outside on the porch light. But if y'all can see in my video, this frame of my wall back here, she was standing in the frame part of the doorway. And as I was getting closer, I noticed her. It was a bird. I don't know what kind of bird this was, but it was a bird. Flew on her finger. And I was watching her as if it was in slow motion. I was watching her take it like this, and it was flying away. And I was shaking my head. I'm like, I know motherfucking well I just didn't see what I just saw. I just didn't. And by the time I got to the house, my mama had already went back in the house. So I didn't say nothing. I kept that with me. Because I'm like, I know that I see shit other people don't see. I know shit other people don't know. And I hear shit other people don't hear. And I'm like, what does that mean? Because what my mama had taught us, if a bird flies in your house, that means that it's a sign of death. But this bird wasn't in our house. This bird flew on her finger and she tossed it. I didn't know what that meant. And that was 2 weeks prior to that phone call. And I didn't understand it. I still don't understand it. And when I found out what had happened, I was devastated. I was so hurt. I jumped back in my car without even thinking about my kids. And I heard my sister and them hollering for me. Because I was on the warpath at that point. It ain't that I didn't care. This is just what I do. I jumped in my car with my baby still in my car. And I quickly put my car in reverse because it was a car in front of me, so I had to back up. And I threw my car in reverse, hurried up, and threw it back in drive. And I just put the pedal to the metal, non-stop. And the street that we live on, it goes straight up to the next block, next 2 blocks. It's a hill. And it's buildings that face that hill. Barbecue place and all that shit was up there. Something like a strip, y'all, where they had stores and barbecue places and stuff like that. I put the pedal to the metal. And I just gunned it, and I was gone. And when I was reaching that peak from the street, dipping and going up the hill, I felt my car like hydroplaning. And it started doing like this. But yet and still, I wouldn't take my feet off of that accelerator. And I was inches, just inches, from being out in traffic when I heard my mama's voice. She hollered, "Stop!" And I stopped instantly. And she said, "You got 3 kids. You got 3 kids to take care of. Go back. Raise them babies. Just like I raised you." Now I made a promise. I put my head on my steering wheel. And I made a promise that I would do everything that I possibly can to raise my kids. I said, "Mom, I'm only 24. I got 3 kids to take care of. What am I going to do without you?" I know I said that I will make it my business. I will make it my business to come and see you. And I kept that promise. I kept it. And I had my head on my steering wheel. And all of a sudden I had this knock on my driver's side door. It was one of the friends that I look at or see as a little brother. We all grew up together on that block. Everybody knew everybody. And he was just knocking and calling my name. And I wanted to talk to my mom. I wanted to stay in the conversation, but it was gone. And I just bust out and I started crying. And I was like, no. No, 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 no. I just kept saying no. And he just kept knocking. And he started talking and he was like, "Sis, Shonda, please. Please, you got your kids in the car. Please. Just open the door. Just open the door. Let me drive you back down the street. I don't want you to go nowhere. You inches away from traffic. I don't want you to go nowhere. Just move over. Put the car in park. Just move over and let me drive. Let me drive you back down the street." And I told him, I said, "My mama is gone. What am I going to do? My mama is gone." And he said, "I know, sis, I know. But she would want you to take care of your kids. She wouldn't want you to go out like this." Yeah, let me end this right here. I said that I was gonna do this video from the end of 23 years old, starting at 24 to the age of 39. But I think right about this point, getting to know Sean or Sean G, I think I gave y'all enough of my life at this point. I can't be nobody but me, guys. But I'm going to end it on this note. I thank you all for tuning in to this part 3. Y'all got to know me on a whole different level. But everybody know that from the beginning of my videos, I've been consistent. I've been this way all my life. So what's new to YouTube to them is the way that it always have been. I ain't looking for nobody to verify, but everybody know. This is Shonda in the flesh. This is Shonda's life. This is how she live. This is how it is for her. But I thank you guys for tuning in to part 3. Like I say, I won't go any further. From 25 on up. Maybe at a later date. But right now, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video. And you guys know that I don't want to end my video without leaving it on a positive note. You guys know the word that I use is power. I'll take the P for pressure. And then I'll take that R to release that pressure. But I'm going to share the OWE with you guys. Because you owe it to yourselves. To be the best of you can be. Y'all remember, God loves you. And I love my fam too. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Y'all be blessed.